Yay.
Yay, it worked. We're recording. Hello, everybody. It's good to be back again. We had a few things going on the last couple of weeks. And so Marian and I are back again, continuing our fun collaboration with the dragons, the poems, and all the friends that come along with it, including us.
Morning, everyone.
Um, Marian has actually, I don't, since we were on here last, I think we might have done three or maybe 3 or 4 more poems, 4 more pages, I'm pretty sure, but I think 3 poems. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a
So,
lot.
so we hope you haven't missed us. No, I hope you did miss us. And we're waiting for another video here. And we've got a really fun video this morning, and we want to talk about a few things. It's not like we rehearsed or anything, or even have notes. Um, but we wanted to talk about. Marian brought this up to me and really emphasized it to me, the idea of the creative process and how much when you stop it. I often don't stop and think about it, but she does, and about
Why is that?
the time that's involved.
What? How come? Say more about that. Why you're not
Yeah,
think about that?
yeah, you know what? That thank you for the question, because the reality is, in some ways, and I'm just being honest, so I'm not.
Really?
Yeah, I'm being honest. Is
Is that a
that
shock?
is that I I probably have insecurities about, if I think about the hours.
Ah,
If I think about the hours, then it starts with the questions that all artists come to. Who in the heck's looking at this? Who in the heck's reading this? Who in the heck's gonna really want to have anything to do with what I do? And
and
I don't think about the hours because maybe it gets to be too much, but that's okay, because ultimately I come back to my heart, and my heart says create. My heart says do it. But friends come along like you and say, well, how much time do you actually spend doing that? And it
yeah,
makes
what is the process? If this is something we all, nothing we're doing or talking about is not something that's unique with us. We all have the same issues. I mean, most of us, I guess, which is why am I doing this?
yeah,
What's up with that?
yeah.
Really?
So what do you
Other
do?
than, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, so why do you create like you do? I mean, your photographs are incredible, and you've got like 61 books that you've created. You and you have the the dragons and all of their friends, and the cartooning, your great fun creative skill with that. Why do you do it?
I have no idea.
Okay.
We don't know. The thing is, we don't know. Now, some people, you, for example, have words. I don't have the kind of word. I mean, first of all, we don't know. You know, when we're fetuses and we hear music through the avenues that we hear it, we hear it. We have, we there are no words, I don't think. And people have tried to describe for centuries about how come and why they produce this and why they don't. And the question really is today, why am I doing this? Why? And who cares? Anyway, and so what? It's like, so what? And what's the purpose? And where's the money? And
Yeah.
right.
And
So
ultimately,
but then you do it, whatever the thing is. And again, it's like, okay, I did it. And I think it's wonderful. And nobody else seems to think so, that kind of thing. We all have that. So what I'm suggesting is that by doing this, or by having these videos, we're doing something. We're doing something. And we don't necessarily know what's going to it's conjecture. It's all conjecture. So
It is.
just do the thing, guys. Do it.
Yeah, and you know what? That's it. That was one of the sayings that way before Nike was ever even existed as a company. That was one of the things my dad used to tell me. He would, I would rationalize and come out, and he would say, "Just do it."
Did he really?
Just do it. He did, yeah. And I've written about that at different times and different things. Yeah, uh, just do it. It's what he would always say. Quit making excuses. Do it. If that's what you want to do, go for it. And ultimately, I think it's exactly what you said. I mean, for me, at least, I know what it is. It's a sense of it expresses who I am. It expresses my joy. It's fun. It makes me happy to do it. And so I do it. And one of the things, I mean, just going back to what I was saying before, one of the things that helps in terms of like, hey, is anybody else going to care about this? And some of the questions that you raised. And ultimately, well, I care about other people. I mean, I think most people who know me know that I care about them. Ultimately, anybody else's opinion of me is none of my business. I don't care what other people's opinions are of me. They're none of my business.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, really. Yeah. So, and today, the poem that we talked about, I just think this is neat how this little discussion worked in, kind of goes along with this. How do you express yourself? Why do you express yourself? And you just do it. So, I did want to come back to the other thing. I don't know. Do we want to talk about this now or not? About the time involved?
Well, it's just a thing that you think about later. Gee, I wonder. It's a thing. Well, the idea approached me. I remember when I was 5 and I was in kindergarten, and I really wanted, it's kind of like that. I mean, to get the thing done. It's just interesting to say. I thought I had this idea. And then I did it. 10, 15 years passed by. It's a thing. That's how long it takes. The process of how to complete an idea takes time. It's not relevant. It's just interesting. I mean, it's not relevant to producing something. I mean, you're not on a deadline.
Right. Yeah. But it is interesting. I mean, and I think that's one of the reasons I create. I can go back to when I was young and I thought I want to be a writer. And I wanted it so badly that when I was in the 6th grade, I still remember this. I had my dad's old Olivetti Underwood typewriter that actually had the keys and the ribbon and stuff that a lot of people not much younger than me don't even know about anymore very much. Because do you know that in 1981, the PC personal computer was introduced during Super Bowl ads for that year. And within 2 years, another typewriter was never manufactured. So dramatic changes. Anyway, I wanted to write so badly that we used to get Reader's Digest all the time. And they had different parts of it. And I decided, you know what? I can write things like that. And so I would type up stuff and I would put it in an envelope and address it and send it to them. I never heard anything really back because it was from a 6th grader. I'm sure
Is that why?
I don't know for sure, but that far back. And then the idea of writing just kept coming up throughout my life. And so when did all these ideas start? They started a long time ago. And and you mentioned this to me the other day. You said, hey, maybe we could talk about that a little bit. When we were just chatting about the poem, the latest poem we were working on and drawings. And I said, I've been working on a poem for weeks now. This idea that I've been writing, I've got pages and pages and pages in my journal. I probably got about 6 or 8 pages about this poem idea. And it
Mhm.
came from the time that I spent looking up at the stars at nighttime. And I've got a little app on my phone so I can identify stars. And I know most of them pretty well, but so I can identify stars and all this. And so I got this idea and I started writing about it. And I've just continued to write. And I've done research about the Big Bang Theory and some other astronomical type events. And so how much time do I have? I am not sure how much time I have, but it's significant. It's definitely significant. When will a poem come out that for all these pages and all this time spent, that might be maybe 2 pages? That my longest poem goes on to a 4th page, but that's the very longest. So something that be 1 or 2 pages. Yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into it.
Mhm.
So all of these things that our viewers might be seeing right now are things that we have both put a lot of ourselves into. And that means we don't mind spending the time, because I don't know about you, but I like myself. And I enjoy
Wow, that's really something.
I enjoy that time, and I enjoy what I do, and I do value what I do, what I create.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Okay.
Okay. We won't talk about the art. That's what I appreciate so much about what you do. I, I'm not, I love colors. I'm really good with colors. I think I might
Mhm.
have mentioned that before. I'm really good with colors because I painted for a long time. I did house painting. And my dad was an old time painter, and he had his own company. And I learned to mix colors, and I'm very good with colors, but not so great with artistic expression and drawing the objects and create. I have a fair photographic eye, but not like, it's not professional, but it's still something I enjoy. But I can't draw, and that comes from listening to the opinions of others. And that's one of the reasons why I say what others' opinions are of what I do is not that, it doesn't concern me. So
You're not a woman, obviously.
no, no, and I know that that can be different,
Mhm.
but yeah. So, but I mean, it's not that men don't care about what others think.
Oh, it's just that we wake up and we look in the mirror and we say, "Oh my God, really?" It starts from that.
Okay,
If I look like this, maybe my life might be different. I would be approached differently. I'd be respectful of that. Oh, blah, 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 blah. That's, I think, any women out there? Hey, hi, call me. We'll talk about it.
and Marian would be glad to talk with you about it. She
Oh, yeah,
does.
yeah.
Yes.
I want to. Okay, so we want to see what we've done
Oh,
lately,
you want
right?
to see what we have? Okay, let me do the share screen. Find the screen. I got it.
We could make a puzzle out of some of these puzzles, some of these drawings,
Oh, that would be
some of the
fun
poems.
to go along with the book. How fun would it be to be a parent or a grandparent and reading these poems?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. How fun would it be to be a parent or grandparent reading these poems with children or grandchildren, and read the poem and then work on a puzzle that
Right.
has that has your artwork there? That would be great fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. So let me ask you something, Miriam. Do when I do this, the screen, does everything look exactly the same on the screen?
Yeah, it's a wide portion off to the right that has no just words or anything on it.
Okay. So let me pull this back up and pull the screen share back up. Oops. Pull the screen share back up. Okay, I see what you're saying. I think I can maneuver that. Oh, I don't know why I do this though in some ways, because I can't get back
I don't think it really matters, actually. So
I can't get back to my big screen right now. I'll read the poem and then I'll try to fix it. Okay.
right.
Because the poem goes into a second page and okay.
That is the second page, I think.
Look, I am not 100% sure because it's little on my screen. I'll fix it. But here's the poem. I'll read it and
Okay.
then we can talk about it. Wavelengths of life. I think I should have been an artist. I believe, as did Picasso, that we are all born that way. Not only artists, but also musicians, dancers, in tune with the soul of the world. The trick is holding on to it. I let go too quickly, and now my palette holds words, not paints. My eyes play over that abandoned palette of flashing red, seductive orange, glowing yellow, breathing green, deep-throated blue, throbbing indigo, flowing violet. Colors of nature, of life, of purity. How do I paint with black words on white paper? My creative imagination must labor hard. She rejects negativity and sloth. She rushes to positivity and effort. Hues of life, the pulsating vibrations of nature, they combine to yield the purity of unified light. Black words on white paper may be rainbows and fuse to white insight for those seeking light.
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so when we're looking at it, we only see half of your poem.
Right. Because the other half is another page, and I don't get why. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop a share, and I'm going to go back to share, and I'm going to get back to what I want there and what I want. Yeah, I don't have a copy that has both sides on it.
No.
Yeah, this is, so yes. So this is the, yeah, this is the first page.
Oh, it says page 2, so we'll just have to change that.
Yeah, yeah.
Where's the other page?
It's somewhere here.
Oh.
Let me go back to this.
Let's see here. Wait.
Technical difficulties.
Wavelengths of life. Flowing violet is the first.
That's the second page, actually.
I think I should have been an artist.
That's the first page. Yeah.
Okay, so what you're seeing there is not the complete piece.
Right. And I don't think I have them with both sides on it.
All right. Well, we're working on it.
Yeah. Yeah. So see, this is part of creation. Sometimes when we create things, sometimes there are technical issues that just need to be.
The other page has the elephant on it.
Okay, let me see if I can find the other page. I'm gonna have to.
So I may have to redo some of this.
Okay, well, that's okay. We can work on that. Yeah. Okay, so this Marian already actually revised the artwork, the dragons, and I absolutely love that. They're there with their brushes, and it's like captures what I go through sometimes. I think about it would be so great if I could be an artist, if I could draw like Marian draws, and because it seems like, you know, how they always say the old saying, one picture is worth 1,000 words. I think I could express maybe so much more. Yet some people who are seeking, they run across my words and they're thinking about themselves and they're thinking about their own creativity, their own lives, who they are, those kinds of big questions. And they might read something like that and read my poem. And all of a sudden, my poem, the words of my poem become colorful, like the dragons are drawing here with their brushes. And they realize something about themselves that's wonderful. And that makes them happy. That makes them happy about who they are, about themselves. And that's kind of where I come from with writing the poems. And this
I was
poem,
pretty impressed that they had a bucket full of brushes.
that's really great. Yes.
And they, they're able to hold the brushes. And I mean, I was just like, huh.
And they
How did
just,
that happen? I see I have updated stuff. I apparently haven't sent it to you, Mike.
oh, okay. Okay.
But that's okay. So this one, so what had to happen is for me, the words artist show up. How do you decide what to draw? So there's something about artist, something about painting, and there's color in there. So it's hard to put into a drawing, I think, the words that somebody else says. That's always the issue.
Yeah.
So in my scene, I have a whole big file, huge dragon drawings. And I look in my file and see if there's any dragons in there that want to be in this poem. And that's what happened. So some of them wanted to be and some of them didn't. So I picked the ones that wanted, and there they are. Their tails and everything. So I also wanted to say, sometimes what's picked is the outline. See the black outline.
Mhm.
See all that? There. And then it's filled in with some color. So each one that's filled in as the drawing goes along, as the color fills the outline, the individual becomes more alive.
So like, are you talking about like maybe the spikes on the tail?
Everything, every
Everything.
spike has to be filled in separately.
Everything.
It takes quite a while because the dragon has to be enlarged, because I do it on Photoshop. So it has to be enlarged so that I can see every spike.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so, and the colors that go into it then help shape the continuation of the piece.
Right. I have no idea about the colors.
Okay. So they just come.
They want to be that color and that's it. It's not up to me.
Yeah.
A lot of it, here's my story. It's not my fault. That's my story.
That's okay.
Mm.
It should
but that's part of it is as an artist, as we're talking about all of us out there. In order to get the blame off, why did you do that? Which is what you should have, you could have, that word should have been blah, 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 right? If you change it because somebody said it could be better or not, who's to say? Are you sending it to a publishing company? What are you doing with the result? And so on and so on and so on and so on. And I'm older than you, so I can say, I don't want to hear it anymore. So I can just say, it's not my fault.
I think those are some really big ideas because fault implies what you mentioned, blame, and in my opinion, blame and guilt are two of the most worthless human emotions. They exist. They can't be denied, but they're not good for very much.
We live with it. We live with it.
Yeah.
It's
So, and one of the things I wanted to say to any of you who may be watching and still with us at this point is that Marian's response and the dragon's response and her creative imagination response to the words of my poems are exactly what each of us needs to do whenever we encounter any. If you encounter and look at Marian's drawings, you should be thinking, oh, how do I respond to that? How do I feel about that? And the words of my poem, how do I feel about that? And you can come up with your own response. Maybe you would feel like going out, maybe it would make you feel like working on creating little, like my wife used to do, bracelets and stuff out of little stones and the wire and all that stuff. Or maybe it will be like the other things I mentioned here. Maybe you feel like getting up and dancing, putting on some music and dancing while the dragons are drawing. Or maybe you would get out your guitar and strum some chords to the poem, to the words. Or maybe it's more internal work that you think about yourself and about how great you really are and how you want to express yourself in any way, in any shape, in any form, without fault, like Marian said, without worrying about anybody else blaming you for something and taking fault, just being yourself and smiling about it and caring about who you are. By the way, Picasso did say that was one of the things he did say, is that he believed that we're all born as artists, and the trick is to hold on to it. Yeah.
Do you have any other drawings or any other poems you can post for us to see?
Sure. Let me stop this share and let me go back to, okay, let me go back to my regular stuff. And which one might you want to look at? Do you have one that you're thinking of, Marian?
Well, no, not really. Just anyone has. Oh, how about the prophetic wings of life? Do you have that one there?
Have it. Let me see. I don't know. I might have it so that I have both pages here.
Page 1 is like awesome. And page 2 is good too. So I took a lot of time on that.
Let me. Okay, I'm trying to find it. Believe me, I am. I've got it. Oh, that's the wrong poem.
Doesn't matter. We'll try anything. It's just for fun.
Yeah, I know. Let me. Should be right there. Nope. Should be right here. Here, I've got it. Okay, now I can share screen. And I will choose this one. Share. Okay, there it is.
Oh, I love it. I love this one.
I love it too. I mean, this one we really clicked on. I mean, it was really like, we all did on all of them, but this was just amazing. Talk about, how did the dragons decide to be orbiting with Jupiter and Venus?
How did they decide to what?
To orbit with Jupiter and Venus.
How did they decide to orbit?
Yeah, they're there right on. So here they are.
Yeah, well, they wanted to get on there.
Yeah, yeah. And there, yeah. So this was our latest poem that we worked on, and it's got a second page also.
Right, the second page. So in this case, this one on the top, that's
this one,
Venus, and excuse me, the confidence of that individual who's sitting on top of Venus with her tree. It's like,
why not? Yes.
I thought it was so funny.
I love it. And I mean, it's just so vibrant, everything. It's filled with the life That's there. Yeah, and you know what I love about this too, Marian, when I looked at it, and I didn't talk with you about this very much, is that the poem, what catches the words of the poem that is embodied in the with the dragons is the planets are right there. I mean, they're affecting the tree and the flowers. I mean, they're experienced right along with it. They're experienced together, so close. And here's this great little confident dragon up there with his tree right on Venus, and with her tree right on Venus. And wow, that's just awesome.
Yeah. So the thing about the tree, remember, is, every dragon has her own tree. They don't always carry the tree with them, but they all have their own tree. In fact, there's a arboretum out in Creve Coeur Lake.
Yes.
Dragon trees were all lined up growing. They're pretty big now. They all look alike, because they're baby trees growing into bigger trees. It's the whole, for some reason, they have their own tree. So if you close up to this particular one where the tree is, you can see the tree stem, or whatever the feet of the tree is fitting the curvature of the piece. See that?
I'm trying to make it there. Yeah.
Up on Venus.
Oh, up on, okay. I see, you're right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So it's not stuck into Venus. It's curving onto the edge of it.
Yes.
You
know what? I didn't see the birdies in it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
It's very funny if you read the poem and you say, well, there she is sitting on top of Venus, all happy.
Experiencing everything that Venus is saying in the poem. Yes. Oh, I'm so glad I enlarged that, because I didn't catch that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there it is. I can
Well,
see
there's
it.
a lot of detail.
Yeah.
In anything, there's always small detail in some of these pieces of work.
Yes. So it was just very fun and very vibrant, filled with life. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry for those of you who are watching and you're saying, you're making me sick, making that big and small. I didn't mean to do that. I was just trying to see for myself. So. Okay, good. What do you think? Do you think we've covered today?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So for those of you watching, I mean, think about the creative. We are each creative when we come to even looking at a poem and drawings and artwork and photographs. We're creative in our interpretation of those for ourselves. Your thoughts and your values, my thoughts and my values, Marian's, they're worth something. We are creative creatures by nature, by who we are, and we express that creativity in different ways. Sometimes we, as the other poem talked about, sometimes I don't know, we don't let it out. We don't find ways to express it because, well, for many reasons, for various reasons. That's why a lot of people go to therapy for different things. But it is, it's a wonderful aspect of who we are. And do it for yourself. Do it like I know I mentioned on here before. Walt Whitman used to say he only did half the work of creativity when he wrote his poems and his works. The other half was on the shoulders of the reader to create meaning for themselves, create meaning from the work that Marian and I are doing here. Create meaning for yourself. Let it make you smile. Let it make you dream, imagine. Let it make you consider yourself and how great you really are. So, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to stop that share and back. Marian, is there anything else you want to say today?
I guess I could share that dragons have decided to start their own business.
talk about that a little bit, because you mentioned that to me earlier.
Yeah,
Yes.
the dragons said, well, I'm starting my own business, and it's called Dragons Inc. Right? They have an office, and they meet.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in the office. I think it's a dragon wagon. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, where do they have to meet to decide who needs them the most? Basically, they want to help. They always seem to want to help. They're 4 years old. They're from 4 to 6 year old individuals, and they want to help. They don't have the sometimes the longevity, the skill, the understanding of what it really takes to help, but they just want to. So usually they mess it up a little bit somehow, but they're confident. So they're starting their own business. So we'll see what happens.
And I am anxious to see what happens. I am looking forward to seeing what happens. Yes, very definitely.
So part of starting your own business is where's the money? Where's the money? Right. So then where's the money is what? How do you suppose somebody wants the dragons to come and draw something? What do we do? I'm asking you, what should they do?
And the answer is whatever you think.
I don't know. They don't know. They have to.
Can I know, and I am not, so this is my interpretation of the dragons and the dragon work. Okay. So I'm not saying this is what you think about the dragons, but this is what I think. To me, the dragons represent something that is very important to me in my personal spiritual work, is the dealing with and letting loose the inner wild child. The inner child needs, for many people, the inner child that was wounded in childhood needs to be healed. And these dragons, they're just like, hey, we're going to do this, because that's the way little kids are when all the constructs of society isn't piled on them. They're just like, yeah, we're going to start our own business. Let's do it. And that's what they do. And then, yeah, something comes along, a job comes along, like, figure it out. We're going to do it. We'll figure out a way. We'll do it. And that's the way kids are. That's the way the inner child is to me. And so that's one of the reasons I love your dragons so much, because that's what they always remind me of.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
That's me. Other people, our viewers, they can mean other things, but to me, that's what they represent. And that's why I just am enthralled with them. That's why I asked you, hey, do your dragons want to play with my poems? Because I thought they needed life. Yes.
They are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we'll see what happens. So
Absolutely.
If somebody says, well, do you think the dragons could help my dentist? Somebody has to pay something for the drawing.
Yeah.
Because it'll end up being on your wall, right? A print.
Absolutely.
In fact, every drawing that the dragons have done, there's a name underneath on the picture somewhere at the bottom. Happens to be my name, and the date that this was created.
Yes.
So.
Okay.
So that's it. So we'll see what happens.
We will, and with great fun anticipation about it. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, we're making a book, by the way. It's going to be a book of these poems.
Yep. And we hope you will want to have it, because you need it, because it gives you some kind of joy and a smile and whatever else you take away from these.
Yeah. Okay. You can read it to your kids. So somebody already wants one. He contacted me. He said, I want one when it comes out. So I want to put it on my coffee table. And I have 2 dogs, and I know that one of the dogs is going to wag his tail because they do that, and knock this book off the coffee table. But it doesn't really matter, because the feeling of the book is still there no matter where the book ends up.
The energy is there. Yes, absolutely. So, well, we will talk more about the poems and the dragons, our work, and see what else the dragons are up to besides playing in this book. And we will see you hopefully next week at some point, huh?
Yes.
No promises, but we'll see. We're planning on it. So, okay, very good. Well, that's all for now. If you've watched, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. We want you to interact. This will be posted on YouTube. Please comment there. If you go there and view it, say something.
Yeah, say something.
Because we'd love. And then I posted on Facebook and Marian posted on her account. And we want to see what you have to say, what you think, because it's fun for us and we want it to be fun for you. So, okay. Sound good?
Thank you, Mike.
Oh, thank you, Marian. We'll talk later. Bye now.
Bye.